Judy, where are you going?
Ryan, I'm getting ready for the big tour.
Well, you don't need to go anywhere because we have a new episode of Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. We've traveled to Silverton today, and we've gone to Silver Falls Terrariums, and now we're in the backyard of the Noble Inn. Coming up on the show in the next couple weeks, we'll have a great terrarium story for you.
And the tour we're talking about is Garden Time will be back on the road next September to Holland and Belgium. We'll be going to the Floriade, which is the World's Fair of Gardening. That happens only every 10 years. And so for more information, please go to gardentime.tv and click on Garden Tours.
Coming up in the show today, we'll be talking about Northwest natives for your yard.
We'll also be giving you a little taste of Christmas.
But coming up first, Jan's Tips of the Month.
It's time for the November Tips with Jan. And so Jan, here we are, it's fall and we're in your garden and there's still so many beautiful things here.
There is. I've always planted things for winter color as much so that there's something happening all the time. And this one is one of my favorites. It's Mahonia lamarifolia, and it's blooming right now, and in November it'll still bloom until January.
Whoa.
And hummingbirds are all over it, which is a perfect time of year for them to be having some sort of pollen plant.
It is nice.
Yeah.
It kind of substitutes in case you don't get your feeder
right,
filled,
exactly.
And so it's nice to have something natural.
And then it will have blueberries on it later, and then the birds are all over it in the spring.
And then what else should we be doing this time of year?
Well, there's, you know, you could be out here all the time.
Oh, I know, but
the best thing to do with roses that are high, you know, my roses got really tall this year, is to bring them down hip high. Just so that they don't rock in the wind over the winter and loosen that graft in the root system.
Okay.
So bring them down to hip high, leave them, and then in February when everybody prudens their roses, you can then take it all the way down.
Sure. And then something else, I'm sure.
Well, I had a big brugmansia in the angel trumpet in a pot out here, and it bloomed twice this last summer, and now it's set blooms everywhere. And I just didn't have the heart to leave it out and have those blooms drop, so I managed to get it in the greenhouse. And you want to come and see it?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great idea you brought it in here.
Yeah, look, these are all ready to
pop. Look at them. There's so many.
Yes, and I just couldn't let it freeze outside.
Oh,
so
that's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. And then after that, I'll still leave it in here, and it'll winter over better. I have a heater going in here at a very low temperature to try to keep everything else going, and I also have a little fan. The best thing is to make sure you have good air circulation. And I'm still babying this
Look at
this lemon. It has a lot of lemons on it. I don't think they're going to get very big, but
we'll check it out.
I've got more on it now than I have before.
That's great. Other houseplants that you've been bringing in?
Right. Well, this one I'm purposely leaving in here where it's cold because, and it'll be fine because I don't want it to bloom yet, and it's obviously trying. But if I brought it in the house and warmed it up, it would pop.
Yeah. So
and I thought I'd wait until it was closer to Thanksgiving to bring it in the house.
So it'll be a Thanksgiving cactus,
well,
and maybe you'll get another Christmas cactus.
Right. Then what I do before I bring things in is I clean out the top inch or so of soil, put new soil in so that there's no insects or anything that are there. And any houseplants that you bring in at this time of year may be shocked and start to lose a few leaves. Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. And the last thing is dahlias. If you want to leave your dahlias in the ground, make sure you cut the stems all the way down because they're hollow in the center, and get enough mulch over the top that the rain from the winter doesn't go down and rot the tuber.
Ah, that's a great idea. So you're insulating it too.
Right.
Oh, that's perfect. You know, we've had such a great year with Jan. She gives us so much information every month. If you want to go back and watch those again, you can go to the Garden Time website or go to the OSU website. There's tons of information there too. Jan, thanks so much for everything all year. Appreciate it.
At Blooming Junction, fall isn't about winding down, it's about getting ready. In the garden, start the next season off right now. Fall plantings produce healthier, more robust, and drought-tolerant plants than those planted in spring or summer. In the kitchen, get ready for the holidays with fresh, organically grown produce from our fields. So, whether it's for the garden or for the kitchen this season, Blooming Junction is your place for quality, uncommon plants and produce for your home and garden.
Don't let the cold and wet get you this winter. Warm up to a season of heat with Grimm's Fuel. Grimm's has plenty of wood and heating oil ready to deliver to keep you warm all winter long. Stay warm and cozy with Grimm's Fuel.
For 4 generations, Sealy Mint has grown and harvested the highest quality mint and mint oil. The commitment to quality is found in all of their signature handmade Sealy Mint products. Their mint patties, mint melts, and peppermint bark all use pure heirloom mint oils and not synthetic flavorings. Now for the holidays, you can also enjoy their handmade peppermint and spearmint candy canes and ribbon candy. You can find Sealy Mint products at your favorite market and selected gift stores, or you can order them online. Sealy Mint. Real farmers, real mint.
You know, going into the bad weather of winter, sometimes we worry about plants that will survive that weather. Well, we have some plants that are really welcome in this area, and they do so well. I'm with Sarah from Portland Nursery, and Sarah, you picked out a bunch of natives, which of course, they're going to do well.
Yes, they are a go-to if you want just like a low maintenance, easy care. We have quite a good selection here of native plants for this area. So what a native plant means, just to kind of back up a little bit, is that they're here naturally by Mother Nature. They're not able to grow here, but they're actually like, this is the best environment for them. And so that's really good for the environment because they don't need as much care, as much water, fertilizer, all that. So right. I have picked out a few. We have a lot more in the store, but we picked some of our top favorites.
Excellent. What do you have?
Yeah, so we're going to start out here with a Mahonia and Oregon grape. And this is actually our state flower, so right. It's a really good one here. It's got kind of this holly-like looking leaf, which gives it kind of that festive fall and winter look, and it's really known for its bright red color once the fall color turns. And it has berries in the winter, so it is a great one to feed pollinators in the winter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, there are some Mahonias that are called nativars, just to kind of add some other information. So nativars are actually made by breeders. And so it's a native plant that's crossed with another plant, and they have native blood in them, but they also have different bloodlines in them. So they're kind of natives, but not, you'd never see them in the woods.
They've got native
Oregon.
parents.
Native parents, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but you have other native plants here. What else you have?
Yeah, so we've got here a salal, which has got just a really gorgeous leaf shape and texture to it. That grows to be kind of a smallish shrub. It's a good one for this area. Vine maple is the ever popular maple. Got a great fall color, just a great little tree. And then we've got some huckleberries, 2 different kinds of huckleberries here. Everybody loves to have something that's also edible. Yeah. Huckleberries are delicious. So as you can see, they can look kind of different. This one's more compact and stocky, and this one's got a little bit more of a dainty look to it.
And a taller growing habit, I think, too. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I love that you have so many different textures. And I know that you always love to talk to us about texture because it's so important whenever you do any kind of landscaping in your garden, it makes it more interesting.
Yes, it definitely does. And it's it really pulls everything together because you have everything the same size and texture and color. The eye doesn't really focus and have that kind of dynamic there. Right. So here's another really great one. Nice. It's can be used as a screen opposed to maybe an arborvitae. It's a quick growing evergreen shrub. It's myrtle, or Pacific wax myrtle, and this is just a great one, a great alternative. We've also got some ferns down there in the front because they're just such a perfect, plant for this area. They've got such an elegant beauty about them, and these specific ones are evergreen, which is a really nice touch as well. And you have something evergreen that's small.
Right, yeah. You have deer fern and sword fern.
Yes.
And then you have 2 conifers here, so maybe we have a larger area, so these conifers would really be good for that.
Yeah, because again, with the texture thing, they've got a very unique shape. and texture that kind of just gives that different look, especially when you're working with natives. If you were to have an all native garden, it's good to get that contrast in there somewhere, because it's doable to have a gorgeous native garden, but you do have to think about the size and texture for it.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
And this is white pine and western hemlock. Sarah, you really picked out a nice selection here, and you have a nice selection at both stores?
Yes, we do. At both stores, we have a great selection year-round. We've got a lot more than what's on this cart. So we've also got staff that can help you just make some decisions around a lot of this. So definitely come by, check us out, go online as well. We have some information. Yeah.
Well, there's the hint right there. So go to Portland Nursery, their website, and go to either store, or go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. Thanks so much for all this information.
Thank you.
Well, it's holiday time, and I'm with Diana. We're out here at Terra Casa. And Diana, your store has been transformed, and
Yes.
it is Christmas.
Overnight. It was incredible. I was actually gone for the weekend and came back, and the store was all bright and festive.
Santa and her elves came in
Yes,
over the
they
weekend.
did.
And you have some really fun, as we're walking through the store, some really great themes that go on.
Right. So what we do is we take a tree and we do a theme tree out of each one that throughout the store. So right here we're at the gnome theme tree. And gnomes are big. Gnomes have always been big. I think they're even bigger this year. But they're very, very fun. We also do a lodge Christmas tree. We have a very elegant, kind of a glittery tree. We still do a traditional red and green. But doing a gnome tree is kind of fun because you don't have to have a lot of them. You can work this into a traditional red and green.
Right.
You can make, like my house, a very eclectic tree. I bring a lot of different things into my trees at home, things that have special meaning, kids' ornaments, things that I've collected over the years, and gifts from friends. So it doesn't have to be a theme tree per se. It could be a theme tree that's specific to your home.
Right.
Yes.
And you have some tricks and some tips on how to decorate one of those trees. So let's go to a different area of the store here and check out another one of those theme trees and see what we got over there.
Okay.
So Diana, we're standing in front of a different theme tree. So what theme do we have on this one?
So we went sparkly, glittery, yes, and some really neutral tones though, in creams and golds, and yeah, that's kind of what people are drawn to, is all the glitter, all the sparkle.
Right. And you have there's a different way of thinking about trees. Obviously, this one's hanging upside down, which is a totally different way of thinking outside the box, but it's really cool.
It's fun, and it actually shows the ornaments really well compared to a standard shaped tree. But we do this as our focal point, but it's kind of fun to decorate.
You know, and this one definitely has, the ornaments in it, but there's so much more that you're doing with the trees that's outside of the ornaments.
Right. So if you looked at this bare tree before we got started, you would be kind of embarrassed about how plain it is. But between the ornaments and different size ornaments, we add a lot of different things between the ribbon and sprays. And what we do, this is a great filler, is you just take a spray and you just actually stick it in the tree. And it is a great filler. You don't necessarily need a lot of ornaments, but that way you just get that shape to the tree, and it gives it a lot of sparkle and a lot more interest because of the different depths.
I mean, that's super easy. Even I could do that
You
one.
can do that one, Ryan, right?
Right, but it adds a totally different look to the tree.
Does.
And then you're looking around the shop. You have all of these to make these themes, but there's so much more. The Christmas tree is such a focal point in the house, but you have everything that goes along with it to kind of tie those in.
Exactly. So what we do is we take all these colors, and we try to make shopping easy. We try to separate all the colors of the ornaments. So if you're looking for something specific, you can kind of walk right up to it. But then we take all the different decor items, be it the trees, the Santas, the hurricanes, and we bring them all together around the tree. And you can do that at home too, and use these around your mantle and decorate that way yourself.
Right. And there's a lot of these things too that you don't necessarily have to go in and purchase everything brand new. There's ways to add to your
add to what you already have. Yes, it's baby steps, we say.
Right.
You can't come in and buy all these ornaments, but certainly adding a few statement pieces to your tree will make it pop for the entire season. Yes.
Right. So it's so fun to to walk around the store and just to see all of these simple themes that you have and what all goes in it and how that all ties together. It's really visually, for me, a lot easier to see and put it all together.
It is. It's fun, and I have to give a shout out to Cindy, our merchandiser, who did all this and transformed the store, and she's done a fabulous job.
Yeah.
So
So, the displays are great. They're wonderful. They're inspiring. So make sure you come out to Terra Casa, and visit all their displays, see all their different themes and vignettes, and you come see Diana and her crew and get inspired for this holiday season. So thanks for having us, Diana.
Thanks, Ryan.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
The seasons are definitely changing, but at Portland Nursery, the one thing that never changes is our commitment to you, our customer. Whether it's helping you get ready for the holidays or getting your garden ready for the next growing season, Portland Nursery has the experts to help you prepare. Stop by and see what's new for your home or garden, then take home something special for the season. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people, at 50th and Stark or 90th and Division.
Join Garden Time as we hit the road again. In September of 2022, we'll travel to Holland and Belgium. We'll visit the world-famous Aalsmeer flower auction, Flora World, the University Gardens of Ghent, and the Japanese Gardens of The Hague. We'll also visit the once-a-decade Floriade Expo, the World's Fair of Gardening. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes of Ghent, The Hague, and Amsterdam on this wonderful tour. Go to Garden Time Tours for more information, and we'll see you in Europe.
Find everything you need for this holiday season at Owl's.
Well, it's harvest season, and today we are harvesting mint, which is super exciting. I'm out here in Klatskanai with Mike Seeley, and yes, we are related. Whole different story on that we'll do later. But we're in a mint field. So Mike, tell us, what do we have in the fields?
So this is native spearmint. We raise both heirloom black Mitcham peppermint and native spearmint. And right now we're harvesting the native spearmint. It's a little bit of a race because they're talking rain by Monday evening, and we have to get this harvested by then, or else if it gets rained on, it'll turn the oil red. And right. I mean dark red. And we want a clear oil is what we're out after, a light green to clear oil.
Right, and your harvesting mint gets harvested a couple times a year, right?
On native spearmint, we harvest it twice because it evolved to be a very aggressive plant. And so it'll bloom in early July. We'll take that off, and then it will grow back as you see now, and it's starting to bloom, and we'll take a second cutting.
And so we're looking at the spearmint that we're looking at now, and you've already harvested the peppermint. But so how do you harvest this?
So we'll take a swather like you would hay, and we'll cut and windrow it. And then we'll let it dry 2 to 3 days, longer if we're going to harvest it for tea leaf, because with tea leaf we combine it. So we have to be able to take it off with the combine. For the oil, we just pick it up with the chopper and chop it and blow it into the mint tubs. And that they have a opening in the front. We blow it in when it's full. Truck driver drops off an empty one, picks up the full one, brings it to the still where we will steam distill it for the oil.
Okay, so then they're taking this, and that's kind of mostly what you're using the mint for, is for the oils, right?
Correct. Even though we have a huge demand for the tea leaf side, the oil side is so far what we're focusing the most on.
For the home gardener that's growing mint at home, they've been told to put it in a pot because it definitely runs and spreads. They're not going to be able to distill it at home. But what are some uses that the home gardener can use with their mint?
So they can dry it and use it as tea leaf. And pick it up, dry it. You want to hang it upside down and let it dry in the sunlight. You can use it in salads. It's great if you consume it. Pepto-Bismol used to be peppermint oil, and that's what calms your stomach if you drink it as oil, or if you just eat the leaves. We sometimes put it in the bedding of the pets and stuff like that, so that keeps the fleas and that away and repels the ticks. Gosh, it's got
There's
just
a
all sorts.
lot of uses.
There really is.
For what you can do with your own mint.
Yeah. During the winter, What you also want to do is make sure that you clip it off to ground level and then cover it with about 2 inches of dirt. And the mint will grow back through in the spring, but what that will do is that will break the rust cycle, and that because the rust can't climb up through the soil, and that so you won't see the rust that you would normally see during the summer.
Right.
So
Because it's we were talking earlier about just a little bit of oil goes a long ways, because that's what you're using to flavoring your chocolates and other confections that are really delicious. So.
Well, thank you. But yeah, you have to remember this is pure essential oil. It's not an extract. An extract is 89 to 95% alcohol or sunflower oil. So why use real peppermint or spearmint oil anyway, because you've already messed it up. This is the pure essential oil. 1 pint of our pure peppermint oil will flavor 55,000 sticks of chewing gum or about 2,500 pounds of chocolate.
Oh wow! So it really is a little does go a long way. Now that you have all of these oils, what all are you using them for the products that you guys are making?
Why, now we make these, our signature product is our peppermint patties. That's my killer mint patty. We hit a home run with those. And then we have our peppermint bark, and we use our own crushed candy cane on it. We have our dark mint melts. We have our ivory mints, which is a really unique premium Italian white chocolate with a peppermint spearmint twist. We have our 3 candy canes, our pure peppermint, our pure spearmint, our peppermint spearmint blend, and then we have our ribbon candies, and then hopefully we'll have our tea back here in another 2 to 3 weeks, both peppermint tea, spearmint, a peppermint spearmint blend, and a peppermint green tea.
And if people are interested in purchasing it, where's the best place for them to go find these Sealy mints?
We're all over in the Pacific Northwest, really all over the U.S. and Canada now. Everywhere from Vancouver, BC to Ottawa to Florida to California. Whole Foods, New Seasons, Market of Choice, Fred Meyer.
So you guys are definitely growing and branching out and trying to take it on. So for more information on where you can find the Sealy mints, you can go to their website, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. So Mike, it's a pleasure to be out here, and it's been great to meet you and learn about the family history, and my connection to you has been fun to and see how mint farming is done in Oregon.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And it's been really interesting learning about the family history and that. So it's all tied together.
It's been super cool. So thank you.
Yeah.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Welcome to the brand new Capital Subaru.
We've taken a big step forward.
We've built one of the most unique Subaru dealerships in the U.S.
And we know you're going to love it.
There's so much to see and do here, like shop at our exclusive pet store.
And unwind in one of our amazing new lounge spaces.
Or race through the obstacle course at our new dog park.
This place is pretty stinking cool.
It's time to discover again, with over 72,000 square feet just for you.
Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Don't let the cold and wet get you this winter. Warm up to a season of heat with Grimm's Fuel. Grimm's has plenty of wood and heating oil ready to deliver to keep you warm all winter long. Stay warm and cozy with Grimm's Fuel.
You work hard in the garden. Shouldn't your gloves do the same? Garden Like a Girl makes gloves and apparel from natural, recycled, and organic materials. Garden Like a Girl gloves will help you tackle any job. They are designed to fit, protect your hands and nails, and they last. Plus, 10% of our profits go to cancer research. To learn more about Garden Like a Girl products, go to our website, gardenlikeagirl.com. Garden Like a Girl, ruggedly feminine.
Kick off your holidays right with a stop at a vintage flea. One stop puts you right in the middle of a holiday shopping paradise. We have everything from new handcrafted gifts to unique vintage items. Check out over 60 different vendors. There's something to please everyone on your gift list. Come see us on November 19th for our special preview night, and free all day on the 20th at Margie's Farm and Garden. Make your holiday shopping easier with a stop at a vintage flea.
Well, it is raining today, and as gardeners, we're so excited about that. But we're also glad that it's raining just for the area to get water. Today, I'm at Grants Butte Reservoir with Wendy, who is an engineer here at Gresham. And so, Wendy, this is really an interesting month to bring awareness about critical infrastructure to our water supply. So where are we?
We are at the Grant Butte Reservoir, City of Gresham's largest reservoir. It holds 10 million gallons of water.
Wow, and so is that just for the Gresham area, metro area?
Yeah, it serves most of Gresham. There is a small portion of Gresham served by the Rockwood Water People Utilities District, but the majority of people in Gresham, their water will go through this reservoir.
And you know, the last couple of years with the Regional Water Providers Consortium, we visited several of the reservoirs around the area just to get that information out to everybody to understand where our water's coming from. And this is really an important newer facility.
Well, originally it was built in 1990, but we did a lot of work recently to make it more earthquake resilient.
And that's so important for us that we are prepared for that. And we're even prepared in our own homes because we always ask people to make sure that they have water in their own homes. So really to be prepared in our big facilities in our own home is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. We need both.
Yeah, definitely. And so I know that it's very interesting too that there was a federal grant that helped with this too.
Yes, we got $2.2 million from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA. And that will cover 75% of the project's costs.
Wow, and that is nice. I mean, because we all help with that, but it's always nice to get help from other sources too. And I know in the whole area, metro area, there's so many projects going on to really kind of build up our infrastructure and to make sure that it's all working for us for the future.
Absolutely, yeah. Earthquakes was the big one on this one. We have to be ready for that. But every day we just got to make sure that our facilities work properly.
So if you could tell us a little bit more about this project and why it was so critical for this area.
So originally built in 1990, it wasn't built to current earthquake standards, and we could have had some troubles if there was a major earthquake, but with the grant we were able to make it entirely up to code, and if there is a major earthquake, this will be able to provide water not just to 2/3 of the city, but also to nearby medical facilities.
So really this is also interesting and really so dear to our hearts for our gardens, for our family, for our health, and for always for emergency to know that our water supply is safe. And you can go to the Regional Water Providers Consortium website to find out so much information about this project and what's going on in our area. Wendy, thanks so much. It was really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Garden Time today. And remember, the Garden Time tour to Belgium and Holland is now open. So please go to gardentime.tv for more information.
And for more information on today's show or any of our other episodes, you can also go to gardentime.tv. Judy and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Garden Time.
Join Garden Time as we hit the road again. In September of 2022, we'll travel to Holland and Belgium. We'll visit the world-famous Aalsmeer flower auction, Flora World, the University Gardens of Ghent, and the Japanese Gardens of The Hague. We'll also visit the once-a-decade Floriade Expo, the World's Fair of Gardening. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes of Ghent, The Hague, and Amsterdam on this wonderful tour. Go to Garden Time Tours for more information, and we'll see you in Europe. The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.